Trench S, Dahlia S, Ronin, Dima, Phantom, Vi, Talon, Saint. Saint and Ronin can be squeezed into S, and then Anvil, all A. B for shoot, I forgot this character's name, man. It's like 12 at night. I'm making a YouTube video. Dallas, B. Lancer, potentially A and S. It all comes down to who plays her. I think Nex is like a very good Lancer player. He's cracked with her, so if you want tips on Lancer players, go check him out. If you want tips on Phantom, go check out Frag Out, Kappa. And then for C, we got Chaac and Scorch. Not very team-oriented characters. They're just not there. Like I said, consistency with Dallas, by the way. And then obviously Lancer, you got to know how to play her. You don't want to just run in and die like a chicken, right? And then D for Glitch. For one, terrible guns, not very good perks. Dial-up internet radar thing. I mean, it's good, but it's not great. His passive is good, by the way. He can detect gadgets from a distance. But obviously, you don't want that to be too broken. Like, I think Glitch, in my opinion, is a sleeper. Like, if they were to buff him a little bit, I think he'd become a S. But, like, it comes down to, like, you know, obviously, Hi-Rez wants to be a little bit more careful and not, you know, buff certain things to where they get extremely broken. You know, I'm not going to say anything. Poison Pistol, Realm Royale. But anyway, guys, what's going on? Today, I'm going to make a tier list for all the characters. I'm literally just like no script, no nothing. So right off the bat, like I know some people don't really see this as a thing because like obviously when this character first came out, his ability affected teammates and it just wasn't that great. His passive was kind of overlooked. You know, most people were pretty much playing Strikeout, like obviously. But I'm going to talk about Trench. And I put Trench as a S tier. And the reason for that is because with the patches that have come through, now his barbed wire doesn't affect teammates. It's just really effective. It slows the enemy push down. It can cover a side. And not to mention, like, Trench alone can have up to 3 gadgets. So if you don't want to it's basically grenades, right? So the 2 gadgets that Trench has is a trophy system and a disorienting gas. So disorienting gas, you guys kind of already know, right? It's the green fart looking gas that comes out whenever he throws a nade in an area, right? So it slows people, removes the crosshair, gives them harder time to aim pretty much. And that's a good way to get people flushed out, get a pick, you know, if you're fighting, you know, and then it's just an effective tool to just flush people out. Now, the trophy system, in my opinion, is what really makes this guy. And that is because on defense, for instance, this man shines brighter than the sun. Like, this guy's insane. You get 3 trophy systems. Now, I didn't say this, but let me explain his passive. Trench's passive allows him to gain an extra gadget. So, and both his gadgets, when maxed out, can have up to 2. That means you can have 3 gadgets. You can have 3 trophy systems. You could potentially stop 2 C4s, a Ronin knife. You could stop a Dima. You could stop 3 melees. You could stop 3 frag grenades, a bunch of smokes. You could stop so many things with this character. And like that's why I think Trench is so strong and, you know, belongs in the S tier. Not to mention his DMR is like freaking lit. Like that thing is like Call of Duty FAL when it was busted, right? So it's just really, really strong. A really, really strong character. And like even on it, like on defense he shines really good, but even on attack it helps out a lot. Like he's just a really good character that you probably, I feel like about maybe 80-90%, in my opinion at least, you're going to see him in most of the scrims, most of the demolition matches. He is just too good to pass up. So that's why I believe Trench belongs on the S tier. Now the character is not up here. I guess this is like an old, I don't know, but they haven't updated the picture yet, obviously. Dahlia, she was the newest champion, or rogue. I play Paladins, guys, I'm sorry. She was the newest rogue that got added to the gang. And Dahlia, her SMG is very, very strong. You have to be able to, I personally believe you gotta max out the SMG. I also personally believe more in her DMR. Because that DMR is just, like, okay, she has the same DMR as Trench. And it's really freaking, so that thing does mad damage. Now, the thing about Dahlia is that her passive, her ability, or I should say, is that she links up with another agent, a rogue agent, and she can gain their passive. So you kind of see where I'm coming at here, right? Dahlia should be right next to Trench. And so if you have a Trench and a Dahlia in a game, all you do is Dahlia link with Trench, then you get Trench passive, and this will grant Dahlia 2 frag grenades and 2 of whatever other gas. I think it's smoke. She gets 2 smoke grenades then. That is a lot of extra utility that obviously Trench will have it, and then also Dahlia is going to have it. Not to mention you get a quick revive on your Trench player who's probably dominating with the DMR, right? And so Dahlia and combo with Trench is really good. You could, I mean, obviously there are other combos with Dahlia that work well too, like Lancer is really good. I want to say, honestly, I think Lancer's the only, I mean, I guess with Glitch is not bad either. Phantom's not bad. I think that would be the only really good combos. I mean, obviously you can link with whoever you want, but, you know, obviously Trench link with Dahlia is probably going to be the strongest. After that, I would say Lancer. If you just want to have fun and like strike out and just kind of like, you know, hey, dodge, roll, reload, you can always do that. But yeah, we're going to throw Dahlia on S tier. She's invisible, guys. She's invisible. Maybe I'll just, you know, maybe during the video edit, I'll just throw a picture of her in there. I don't know. But yeah, so those are my S tier champions. I also kind of believe that Ronin can fit, like, if there was a thing in between S and A, I would put Ronin in there. But I'm going to throw Ronin on A tier. And, like, it all depends on how your Ronin plays, right? If you play a good Ronin, or if the person you're playing with Ronin is really good. And the reason I say Ronin is really good is because she is just a fragger. She has the frag grenades, she has the daggers. If you know the strategy with the dagger, obviously, you know, if somebody's hiding behind cover, throw the dagger in that direction, blow the dagger up with your gun. Gets a free pick. You could frag it out just to, you know, finish them off or something like that. Her AR is very strong. She has the, what is it, the KA-30, I think, which is the same as Dima's. It's the faster fire rate AK that does great damage. It doesn't have the best, it doesn't have like the amazing range that Dallas's AK has, but it frags. It's great. It's an amazing gun. She's overall just a great duelist. She's the person you want to give to your fragger, your person that's going to get them kills, confirm them kills and whatnot. And so that's why I believe Ronin definitely can squeeze. She can squeeze, like, you could squeeze her into S tier, but I'm going to put her at A. Because me personally, I don't really play Ronin a lot. She's a very good champion overall. If you're new to the game, definitely would recommend her just so you can kind of like get a hang of the game, you know, learn how the AK, how the recoil of the guns work, stuff like that. But yeah, Ronin's really good. I don't think there was anything else I needed to say about Ronin. Her passive, by the way, is that she can avoid being detected on radar, and you can just do a lot with her overall. So Ronin, amazing character. If I could, I would squeeze her on S tier and A tier, or well, S tier, but I'm putting her on A for my, I don't know. This is my personal opinion. Now, I believe another character I'm going to go through, we're going to go ahead and talk about Dima. Dima, I'm going to throw on A as well. He is very, very strong. He has the grenade launcher. That's his ability where he throws out, like, I guess it's like a Merv, I guess. It splits into a bunch of small nades. You can use this to clear sites, clear areas that people are hiding behind cover. And not to mention, he also has a frag grenade. It's a very strong kit. And he also has the same AK as Ronin. So like I said, I just talked about that AK. It's busted, it's strong, it's a beast. It's really good, it's effective. You can use it long range, medium range, close range, however you want to do it. It's a great gun, great overall, good gun. The only thing I'm going to say about Dima that I'll give Ronin is a little bit better than Dima is that Dima is kind of like, in a sense, on some maps, he's very situational. Very, very situational. I think that, especially if you're going against a Trench, if a Trench starts loading out his trophy systems, Dima's launcher is pretty much negated at that point, and what you probably need to do is throw a couple of melee weapons over there to stop, you know, the trophy systems, and therefore you'll be able to get your Dima's launcher out. I think maps like High Castle are very good for him. Like it all comes down to the maps too. Like, maps are very important in this game, and you know, the map you play on is really going to decide which champions you really play. But I'm gonna throw Dima on an A tier. He's a great champion. I think he's like a he's a little bit less than Ronin in my opinion, but I'm gonna still squeeze him on A because he can do just as good as Ronin. But you gotta know who you're playing with. You gotta know your teammates, and you gotta know how you want to strategize, and figure out the best way to utilize his grenade launcher. So Dima, I'm gonna throw on A as well. Phantom. Now Phantom, she's the only sniper in the game. Like, of course she's gonna be bad A, right? But the thing about Phantom that I want to say is that I feel like a majority of people do not know how to really utilize her her ability, which is the smoke nade, the black purplish smoke that kind of comes around and can like reveal people who are in it. And then I feel like some people, I'm honestly one of the people, I don't really play Phantom a lot. When I throw her smoke, I throw it to try and reveal people. That's how I play it, really. Like, I don't know, some people, you can use it two ways. You can use it to reveal, try to find an enemy, figure out, gain intel on where they are, what they're doing, or you can use it to, cross somewhere. If you don't have smokes on your team at the moment, you can use it to get your team across an area without getting like fired at by another enemy team or by the other enemy team, So I guess in a sense, that's how I see her ability. I don't know. I'm not the greatest Phantom player. I literally shoot like nothing. I can't hit anything with her. That's just me. Terrible sniper. But I also feel like people don't know how to really use her other gadget, which is this is a I think this is a exclusive Phantom gadget as far as I know right now, but I think she's the only character in the game that has the censored dart, like not a censored dart, but like I'm thinking of Talon now. It's censored, like I guess it's a grenade. I don't know. It sticks to the wall, and like if an enemy runs by it, it reveals them, and it even detects on your radar. Now, when that pops up, only Phantom can see that, but obviously if you're on comms, your Phantom's going to call it out. Oh, hey, this guy's coming over here, he's flanking. It's pretty much an anti-flank gadget or utility, and it's really good. But I feel like a majority of people right now, like, I mean, this game just came out like literally a few days ago, like open beta, and they don't know how to really use that. What you want to do, obviously, throw it on walls, throw it in areas where enemies won't see it so they can just take it out easily, right? So yeah. And then last but not least, I'm going to say it, like, even I'm a victim of this, Phantom does require a larger or a higher skill cap. She's a sniper, obviously, right? So you gotta dome heads, man. I mean, yeah, you can dome bodies all day long, but if they just recover from it, your damage is for nothing. If your teammates don't capitalize on the 70 damage, used to be 80 by the way, on the 70 damage that you hit, then you can't really do much. Now, if you're a god, like a couple people I know, like Frag Out and all them, you're gonna just destroy. Like, you're gonna land headshot after headshot. Then you can consider Phantom an S tier. But until then, like I said, consistency is the most important thing when I look at these tier lists, and that's why I put her in A category, because she requires a very high skill cap. Moving on, by the way, I'm gonna go ahead and throw Vi into the A tier list as well, and I can explain this. Vi, if you didn't know, her passive is that I'm gonna talk about her passive first. Her passive allows her to gain shield. Regenerable shield up to 125 for however much tick damage she does on an enemy. That alone, in my opinion, is a very, very strong passive. It's a greedy passive, yes, but it allows it allows Vi to do things that other champions can't. Like, I know you can buy armor on some characters, that's kind of like in a sense, somewhat of a small counter to what Vi can do, because she can't buy armor, obviously, right? But her ability is to lob these 2 grenades that split into small nades that apply a poison, and when enemies step on it, they lose a certain percentage of their life, or a certain number of their life, and they don't gain that back. And it ticks for 2. So if you place these poisons right, you could just slaughter a whole team. In a sense, it's like a Molotov, right? And not to mention, she comes with a Molotov, which helps out a lot. And then flashbangs, I think, is what she gets. So her AR too is like, she has a very unique AR. It's silent starting off, and like, you have to build it up, but it's a very, very strong AR. And I've noticed that it can kind of keep up with the Ronin Dima AK, but it's definitely an interesting gun. And so that's why I categorize Vi in A. So, all right, moving on. Let's talk about, who am I going to put up next? All right, I'm going to go ahead and talk about Talon real quick. Talon? My man Talon, man. This guy used to be bald. Like, he used to be bald and have Chaac passive. What was that about? But anyway, Talon is probably the best intel gathering character in the game. He has a dart or a radar that he can throw around the map, and it pings, it shows on the mini map like a circle that pops out, and you can see it like going around, and like you can, if you see a red circle, obviously enemy right there, and you can tell your teammates. It just tells you a lot of info, like how many people are over there. Is there more than 2? There's a lot of things you can do. Talon is probably effective on every map. That's one thing about Talon I like. Now obviously the counter to Talon is cloaked, right? Or, you know, like I talked about, Ronin passive. But another thing about Talon is if you don't know how to throw that what is it, the dart, right? If you throw it in the middle of a freaking, like, if you throw it in the middle of the open field, an enemy's going to see it and shoot it. That's your dart. That's it for the whole match. You don't get another one. You're out. You get one shot. It's over. Now, another thing I want to mention, though, is that when you do throw your dart out, his passive is that he can grab weapons, gadgets, utility, any kind of thing that is pick-upable? Anything that you can pick up, pretty much he can just grab it from afar because he has magnetic gloves that allow him to just grab whatever he wants. So yeah, what you do is you throw the dart, you gain a little bit of intel from it, you let your team know, you grab your dart back, and then you work around that so you can continuously reveal parts of the map to your teammates, and that is what really makes Talon very effective. It also helps with letting your teammates know, like, you could throw it in flank areas. So if your team's trying to like push up somewhere, you can throw it in an area that, you know, most flanks, like, you know, crummy lancers would try to take, and you can catch her. You can catch her off guard. It's really strong. So I'm going to categorize Talon as an A. His guns, as far as I know, his DMR is very, very, very good. It's a bit slower than the Dahlia Trench AR, the DXR-12, I think is what it's called, but it's a bit slower, but it does a little bit more damage. If you can master the Talon DMR and land those headshots, and you'll be in there. You'll be great. So yeah, I'm gonna categorize Talon as an A. I don't think there's anything else I have to say about him though. Other than yeah, he's pretty good. You'll probably see him in most matches because, like I said, intel gathering is very important in demolition matches. You want to make sure you win all those. Now, let's see. Who's my next guy? Okay. We're going to talk about Saint. Saint, now, if this were before Dahlia came out, I would tell you guys right away. Saint, okay, so Dahlia, in my opinion, is better than Saint, but Saint is still a very, very good champion. I personally categorize him as an A now because Dahlia Trench combo is just too strong, in my opinion. I feel like you just got to have it. But, I mean, he's just like Ronin. When I said that you could squeeze her into S. I could squeeze her into S. I could squeeze him into S as well. But my personal belief is that an S-tier character is a character that is very, very high above the norm, in my opinion. And I personally think Trench is that, and Dahlia. But Saint is a great character. He has a perk that allows him to revive teammates faster. He obviously can revive you from across the map. That's what gives Saint the edge over Dahlia. With Dahlia, you have to be in a certain range with your linked person, and then obviously you have to buy her perk that allows her to revive teammates faster and allow them to regen life immediately as soon as they, you know, get up. That's a $10,000 perk. That's the most expensive perk that you could possibly get on that character. And so it takes a little bit of time for Dahlia to kind of reach that level of what Saint can reach, even though Saint only needs to buy one perk and he's good to go. But now the problem with Saint, in my opinion, and why he doesn't really keep up with Dahlia is, like I said, once again, the Trench Dahlia combo, and also that I just personally feel like his revive is just not as fast as Dahlia's. I think his is a 2-second once you get the perk, right? I'm not 100% sure, but some people prefer Saint over Dahlia. You know, it's just personal preference. Like, whoever the support players are that are watching this video, you know, play who you enjoy. Main weakness is that his gadgets aren't that great. His utility's not that good. He gets a C4, and then he also gets smoke nades. I mean, they're not bad, but I just feel like you could do more with a Saint. If he had like the same nades as like Dahlia, then maybe he'd be a lot better. But he doesn't get a frag grenade. He gets he gets the C4, which, I mean, it helps against flanks, but it doesn't really bring out that, that's the amazingness that Dahlia, who, right, is invisible, that Dahlia can do. So that's why I'm personally putting him on an A list. He would be S, obviously, because he was the only, support at the time. But I'm shooting him down to an A. But like I said, he and Ronin can kind of squeeze their way up to S if they want. It all comes down to, how you play and how you work with your teammates, right? So, all right, so moving on, let's go ahead and talk about my last A tier, and that's going to be Anvil, my main man Anvil. When I first started playing Rogue Company, he was my main for the longest time just because I loved his shotgun. I love shotguns, and the two-pump chump, man, that's what I call it, and it's amazing, dude. He's a badass. Now, once again, I'm going to talk about the same way I talk with, Dima and the rest of the A-tier, A-list champions. A-list agents. He's effective on some maps, but he kind of can be he's great in defense and attacking. Well, honestly, he's great. Wait, hold on, let me think about this for a second. I think he's great. He's much better on defense than he is attacking. There we go. That's what I'm trying to say. I had a brain fart, like I said, High Castle's good for him. I think Factory's good for him. Like I said, it all comes down to the comp that you play with your team and how you want to run, what your strategies are going to be, how you're going to utilize his shield to the fullest potential, Now, he is also, in terms of attacking, I would say that he's good too, just because, you could potentially put a shield down on site, plant bomb real fast, plant it for your team from your backside, your spawn, and that just, you're forcing the enemy team to, pretty much waste resources on getting rid of his shield. So that's one thing I will say about him in attacking, but I think personally it's kind of a mix-up of both attacking and defense. Once again, maps are a big factor, and the comp that you're playing with your team. He is immune to EMP, he's immune to flashbangs, he's immune to a lot of CC things that happen in the game. That's another thing about him that allows him to kind of resist those pesky flashbangs and all that stupid stuff, and just not give a rat's ass and let him do what he wants with his 90 bullet LMG when it's maxed out. But yeah, so overall, Anvil is a great character. His LMG used to be busted. It got nerfed, but great character. Like I said, think about the comp you're playing with your team, and that's where I roll. So these are all my A tier agents. I think it's a pretty decent loadout. But yeah, so let's talk about my Bs. My Bs, in my opinion, they're great, but there's more to be I guess wanted from them, maybe, or the consistency of them are just not the greatest. And I'm gonna go ahead and toss my boy Dallas. I'm gonna talk about Dallas now. Some of you guys might hate me. I love Dallas. Honestly, Dallas low-key main. I love his DMR. Used to hate his DMR, but after watching a couple of my boys play him, I was like, you know what, let me try this again. And I just kind of low-key fell in love with it. His AK is great. A lot of people will tell you, and I will even tell you, use his AK, because it's probably sort of kind of better in a sense. It's a little bit more consistent than his DMR, but I like his DMR. It's way it's a lever action rifle, and it just headshot 71, regular shot 47. So you gotta have aim. You gotta have aim with him. So that's the first thing on the bat. With I must say consistency a lot, guys. I'm sorry, but his talent or his passive is that when you down somebody, you reset your reveal, your ability, which his reveal is that when he snaps his fingers, he reveals somebody on the map. Now, if you have cloaked, that's going to obviously counter it. It's the same way with Talon. And if you didn't know, Talon and Dallas are the same kind of characters. They are intel. They gather information for the team. And, when you snap, yes, that can tell your teammates a lot about what you're dealing with and whatnot, but I mean, at the end of the day, the enemy team, once they get revealed, it tells them that they're revealed. So it's oh well, I'm revealed, so let me just stop moving, and then that kind of just throws your information out of the loop. You don't know what they're gonna do once they're done being revealed, right? And then you have to be able to knock them as Dallas to get the reset on your reveal. So compare him to Talon. Talon just throws a dart around, grabs it again, could potentially reveal multiple enemies, You know, and it's just, I personally feel this is why Dallas is in the B list, is because his reveal isn't as great as Talon. Now, don't get me wrong, it's like, you know, his reveal literally shows what a player's doing in real time, right? Like maybe during skirmishes, and if you land a couple of killing blows with Dallas, it is very effective. But once again, I'm going to say that word, consistency is very important. If you're playing Demolition, it's not about fragging out and getting a bunch of kills. Playing tactically and getting like the picks that you need and just figuring everything out. Now, you could save Snap. Like, for instance, you could save Snap for like, it's getting hectic. People are like starting to go down. That's when you could use Snap potentially. So, but I don't know. I just feel like Talon personally is a better person for gathering information for the team versus Dallas, and that's why I put him on I put him on the B list. Am I drunk? Oh God. But yeah, he has that ability to squeeze into A, but I don't know, I'm not feeling him 100% there, so I'm gonna put him on the B tier. Now my other character, and probably a lot of you guys, probably a lot of you guys are gonna get upset with me about this, but I'm gonna throw Lancer. I'm going to throw Lancer on a B tier, and the reason why I put Lancer on a B tier is that she is just very, 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 in my opinion, she's not a team player. She's a very selfish player. She only does what she wants. She just wants to sprint up to you, gun you down, and be done with it, right? I mean, yes, her passive is very strong. She comes with a Simtech, and then I think she gets, is she a flashbang she gets? I don't know if it's a flashbang. It's either a flashbang or a smoke. I can't remember, but it's all about the Simtech anyway. She is very, she's more of a like lone wolf kind of player. Now, you can definitely play her in demo. I've seen people do it. You know, she's effective for getting fast plants. She's effective for getting, you know, quick flanks going on when like everything's all chaotic. Nobody's paying attention, you know, because obviously when she activates her ability, she starts sprinting like hella fast, and you can't find her, or you can't hear her. So if you're just like in the middle of a gunfight, you don't even realize that there's a Lancer flying up on your ass at the speed of light, and you're pretty much dead at that point. Yeah, so that's why, like, now Lancer could potentially squeeze up to S and A. It all comes down to the player that's playing Lance, and you know, I've met a lot of Lancer players in my time, man, and let me tell you something, I hate them. My C list, I'm going to put Chaac. Now, I talked about Lancer, and I'm going to talk about Chaac. Chaac does not bring anything to the table for a team. He can't even do the things that Lancer can do. He can't, like, do a crazy flank. He can't do a fast, fast plant or any of that. What does he do? He goes, and then, like, runs at you like a meat shield. That's what he does. That's all Chaac does. And, you know, he gets that extra bit of shielding, and then he tries to take you down real fast. You know, now granted, I've run into good Chaac players. You know, I've run into a lot of good players that play Chaac. But I'm gonna say the same thing I said about Lancer. He doesn't bring a lot to the table. He's just more of a guy that is kind of selfish, and he's there for himself. He wants to frag out and win. You know, that's pretty much it. He's the guy in Call of Duty that's getting crazy amount of kills. You know, that cares about his KD, right? So yeah, Chaac, and then like his passive doesn't really do anything. Like I said, his passive is selfish. When he's down, he can roll. When you're on the ground, you can roll a little bit. Whoop-de-doo-wah. You know, they're still gonna gun you down most likely. And even if you haven't used your ability and you get gunned down, the team is probably smart enough, and they already know that you're gonna potentially try to revive yourself. So you just get gunned down again. I mean, there's nothing. I mean, yeah, they might have to waste a little bit more time to finish you off, kill you, and whatnot. But, I mean, yeah, I guess that's the team thing that he can do, is just be a meat shield for people. So, yeah. Now, I'm going to throw my next champion I'm going to throw on C list is Scorch. And I throw Scorch up here because she just does not bring any, she doesn't bring anything to the buffet, man. No, none of that. What does she do? She turns her gun into like a fire Uzi and just starts spraying people and just goes for kills. That's it. That's all she does. Her passive, immune to fire. Whoopee. I mean, yeah, she gets a Molotov. If this were a strikeout, I would literally tell you guys right now that like Lancer, Chaac, and Scorch could both potentially be S and A. But this is Demolition we're talking about, guys. Like I said, this is a team-based part of the game where you got to work together, and Scorch doesn't really work well with others. Like, yeah, you can molly and push, but what about your teammates? They're not going to be able to. They're not going to be able to run behind you with the molly. They're going to get their toes burned off. Yeah, you'll be the only guy flanking there. Have fun, right? So yeah, I'm gonna throw Scorch on C. And I know this might be kind of weird because we only have one character left, but sadly, like, Glitch is just completely, and in my opinion, like, utterly, like, he's just not good on, especially on defense. Attacking, he might be able to get away with it, but I don't think he's good at all. I'm gonna go ahead and throw him in here, and I'll talk about Glitch. Like, his ability is very effective. His ability potentially can counter everybody in the game. It's like that effective. It can destroy Anvil Shield. It can destroy Talon Dart. It can destroy Ronin Dart. It can destroy Trench Barbed Wire, Trench Gadgets. It can pretty much. He is the anti everyone. But the reason I put him at a D is just that, I don't know. I feel like the range on it is not good enough. It doesn't. I've played him like on especially on defense. You're not gonna even have time to hack half the shit that goes on. You might be able to hack an Anvil Shield if Anvil's on attack, but it's not gonna do anything. I mean, yeah, you get rid of the shield, so I guess maybe that's something. But that thing is like on dial-up or something, man. I don't know. Like, he needs to get better internet because it doesn't hack fast enough. It doesn't. Its range is like it's like a fucking walkie-talkie, man. Like, you ain't getting nothing. You ain't getting nothing out of it, man. I don't believe in it. But yeah, and then like another thing is that his perks aren't that great. He doesn't get tenacity. I don't think he can even, like, I don't know what else he can. He just has, like, his perks in general aren't that great for like what he potentially could do, right? And then his guns, like, he gets a shotgun. He gets the Chaac shotgun, and then he gets the Talon SMG. That's what I like to call it, which is probably the best SMG in the game. But, you know, this is about a month or two into this game, and yeah, day one SMGs look freaking broken, but like after week 2 or week 3, it was all about ARs, man. ARs are just too good. They're too dominant. And let me go ahead and tell you right now, like, his guns are just not good. They're good, like, close range fights, you can get something done. But in demolition, people play smarter than that. You know, people are not going to just turn a corner on you. You know, it's just, I personally believe that Glitch could be like, he could be a B, maybe on attack, but on defense, he's not rocking it, man. He's not rocking it. D might be his go-to for me. So, rip and pepperoni to Glitch. I think I covered pretty much everybody in the game. Yeah, I did. If there's anything that you guys have like to say about, you know, some of the characters and how you believe maybe they should be in a higher tier, you know, don't forget, you can post that in the comments. You know, we can discuss it. We can always talk about it. And like I say, once again, maps important, the comps important, people you play with are important. It all comes down to your playstyle too. You know, my playstyle and what I've seen of playstyles of other players is how I made this tier list, and, you know, my experience through just playing the game, you know, for about 2 months and just seeing how, you know, these characters work. So, all right. So yeah. All right, guys, thanks for checking out this tier list. I hope it was kind of informative for you guys. If you have anything, any questions or anything that you want to talk about, just post it in the comments below. Thanks for hanging out today. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. As always, Supabounce here. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you beautiful people next time. Everybody, take care. Have a good one.